you know, I've watched you. Sometimes our people disagree with you, but I mean, I understand some of your approach. I mean, sometimes we take a hard bite. It helps us as politicians.
Nowadays, when I listen to you, I even panic.
Why?
Maybe, hey,
Why do you panic?
the way you, Papa, you know, Papa.
Figuratively, he bites as hard as he can.
Okay.
And of course, when he puts his fangs into you, you certainly feel it. I think it prickles.
Watch Johnnie's bite.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Hasbunallah wa ni'mal wakil. The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Thou prepares a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil, my cup runneth over, and surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever and ever. Amen. Assalamu alaikum. It's Monday. Welcome to Johnnie's Bite. Today is the 17th of July. July certainly is on wheels. This morning, I come to you with a message that should be able to prick your minds. And I will not focus on the people who are campaigning to become flag bearer of the NPP. Because now, I heard a tape over the weekend. Somebody says, well, when Dr. Baumia comes, you see the competent MPP from the incompetent, whatever that means. Even Dr. Baumia, who was brought in by the President of the Republic at the time when he was flag bearer to say he is the main man, he has worked at Bank of Ghana, he is this, is that, is that. He now says he has caught a new vision. When the vision for which he came into power has not finished. We have 1 year and more to finish. But he has caught a new vision. I don't know if that will be a vote of no confidence on President Akufo-Addo. And you know that the interesting thing is that when you mention President Akufo-Addo, then the MPP people, they get angry. But so long as he's my president, he's leading me, he's taking loans on my behalf, he's taking debt and all of these things on my behalf, when I have a problem, I'll mention him. So until he becomes even if he becomes ex-president, Mr. President, and there's something that has to be referenced to him, I'll mention him. No human being is God. It could be your God, but me, no human being is God to me. God is one. God is only God. Now, last week, there was a gentleman on TV3. This same gentleman, when we wrote to Al Jazeera on the gold mafia documentary that Al Jazeera had done, that the presidency said that they were going to take action against Al Jazeera if they don't what do you call it? They don't retract and apologize within a certain number of days. And we wrote to Al Jazeera and we asked them, are you going to withdraw, retract, apologize? They said, we will not. That we have already written to your presidency to tell them that we will not. The presidency is still holding on to the response from Al Jazeera. This gentleman, who I'll show you shortly, is in the news to have said that he sat on TV3 and said that we even manufactured the email. Whoever sent him to come and do that to himself, I don't know. That we manufactured the email. After that, Mr. Kojo Nkrumah went to Asempa FM and mentioned that, oh, we should do our journalism well. They both are not interested in telling the president to release the response from Al Jazeera as to whatever response it is. They are not interested. But on that occasion, there is gold that is smuggled out of this country every month. The president and many other people have been fingered in gold mafiaism. But they are not interested in that response. Now, this gentleman goes on to repeat the thing that we have been told over and over again, that our economic situation is due to, put it up please, is due to COVID, Russia and Ukraine. Put it up. He tells me that, oh, tell me which economy is not struggling. The impact of COVID-19 and Russia-Ukraine war nearly crippled USA's economy. Jamaluddin Abdullah, he speaks on the economy. We put it on our Twitter handle. Obroni comes to write. Bring your Obroni's response. Let me read it. It says, Scott Bolshevik, he says, never believe that the US, China, or Canada are the benchmarks. The next generation, of which he is part, should realize that perfection is the standard. Perfection is the standard. Let there be crisis in every country, and a good leader will have plenty for his people. This strategy is used by politicians to evade accountability. Obroni has said what I've been saying. Bring the other screenshot. It is funny how uninformed African politicians always want to use the US economy as a yardstick. There have been more than 3 billion jobs created in the US just this year. And this gentleman thinks Africans should be okay with bad governance because of geopolitical issues. Listen, it says it's funny how uninformed African politicians always want to use the US economy as a yardstick. There have been more than 3 billion jobs created in the US just this year. And this gentleman thinks Africans should be okay with bad governance because of geopolitical issues. Obroni is responding to him, not me. And I've said this. The scorecard is just no scorecarding. I've said it. So every time it's Russia, Ukraine, COVID, to the point where we even recently had a deputy minister of education saying that teachers should be blamed for economic woes and not Kenuforiata. She had to quickly run back to come and apologize. Shamefully. So now we are all talking about COVID, Russia, Ukraine. When you ask them, why is the economic COVID, Russia, Ukraine? It's affected everybody. Obroni is now telling you that it is an excuse. It is what politicians use to evade accountability and all of that. Young people. I say it is the same gentleman who came to sit on TV3. Whoever sent him, whoever told him to come and say that. To come and say that we even manufactured the email address. And yet he would want to lead this country at some point. In whatever capacity. If it's not already. Young people, I say stop being tied to the apron strings of these politicians. They will ruin you. The people who do the mess, they are not there on TV to come and explain. This morning, the people who come and be explaining things on TV and radio, they are not the ones who cause the mess. Oh. They are doing it because they have to be there. They have to survive. Show me the tweet from Nigeria. President Tinubu, who he says is too old. Now, this is the tweet. It says Tinubu allocates 500,000 hectares of farmland for jobless Nigerian youth. Right? He allocates 500,000 hectares of farmlands for jobless Nigerian youth. Then this same gentleman who was talking about that situation says, this is great. That's the most efficient way to reduce poverty in developing countries. Great job. When you do a great job, you'll be seen. When you do a poor job, you'll be seen. So this should be a lesson. Stop this useless excuse of COVID, Russia, Ukraine, COVID, Russia, Ukraine, COVID, Russia. Now my son has even learned that. It's sad. COVID, Russia, Ukraine. You mess up everything. COVID, Russia, Ukraine. You fail to pay pensioners their money. COVID, Russia, Ukraine. You fail to even take care of 28 special schools. School for the blind, school for the deaf, Jolo special school. All those schools. Since January, they have not been fed. Their feeding grants have not been paid. COVID, Russia, Ukraine. What is that? Since January. Now, when you do all of these things, and then out of your own money or whether it's family contribution, whatever it is, you go to your hometown, Mr. President, to go and outdoor a house that you built worth 1 million cedis, and you ask the people to bed in share. You honestly think that the people will bed in share? Do you think that the people will be happy to bed in share with you? There are 2 videos I will play for you. Quickly. I'm sorry, I played them back to back.
Thank you. Can you take your seats?
I played 2 videos for you. In the first video, the president was at the Green Ghana Day event in Accra, and I've asked for the audit for the Green Ghana Day where we say we spent millions of cedis to plant trees and for them to show us where the trees are. But it was at the Green Ghana Day event organized by Honorable Minister for Lands and Natural Resources, Abu Jinapo. He's in both videos, close to the president. On that occasion in Accra, the president was flanked to the right by Regional Minister Henry Kwoti and to the left by Abu Jinapo. it is told to us that the chief was seated while the anthem was being read, was being sung. Sorry, the chief was not well. That's his excuse, and he apologized, and so he sat down. The president had cause to instruct Henry Quartey, like you saw in the video, throwing his hand about as he was conducting a mass choir, and asked Henry Quartey to go and tell, what do you call it, the chief, to get up and that he must respect the national anthem. Henry Quartey, by the way, is older than Abu Jinapo, whose program it was. So he could have sent Abu Jinapo, but he sent his big brother to go and say it. I don't know what that means. And then in the second video I showed you, the president's beloved daughter, he had two of his daughters by his side. You saw the kennel behind the president's ADC. He had saluted. The policeman had saluted. Everybody was standing upright. Show the video. Don't show my face. But the president's daughter was on a phone call. Maybe God had called her. The president didn't see it. He was just looking around as if nothing mattered. So a chief is being reprimanded, and a whole minister is sent to go and reprimand the chief. And the president's handlers couldn't say anything. He was just throwing his hand about like he was conducting a mass choir. But his daughter, standing right by him, where Abu Jinapo sat. Abu Jinapo is also there. He's not incensed. Nobody is incensed. The national anthem is being sung. Show the video. Don't show my face. The national anthem is being sung. And they're there. The president is there. He said nothing. So the president's daughter, is okay for the president's daughter to even stand and talk on phone when people are saluting and keeping still. The president's daughter couldn't keep still. The president, in his chair that is carried in the V8, was there with him, everything. He couldn't say anything about it. It tells you how the president is administering this country, maybe. That ministers, when ministers misbehave, he can go and even, because if you are close to him, he sees nothing wrong with you. This is my inference of what's happening. If you are close to the president, he sees nothing wrong with you. If you are not close to him, everything is wrong with you. How do you explain this? I'm waiting for those who come and explain. I'm waiting. How do you explain this? That a chief who says, I'm not well, he's an old man. I'm sitting down because I couldn't, but I had to come out. He sent a whole regional minister I sent to him, instructed. I got, tell him. Then they go and reprimand him. Your daughter is standing right next to you, receiving a phone call when the national anthem is being sung. Mr. President, eyes are watching. Good morning.